Hello everyone, Standing Simmer here today, and today I'm coming in for my very first ever voiceover for a speed build. Super exciting. This is actually technically an apartment build, as you can see, so it's more of a renovation than it is an actual build. I thought I'd start off for my very first build voiceover with something a little bit easier than just the length of something like me building an actual house and doing the landscaping and floor planning and rooms and all this crazy stuff. So I thought this was a little bit easier, and it's actually something I needed to build anyway because the family that I had that I've been playing with recently in my spare time was in need of a new place to live. So I thought that since I was going to have to make something anyway for them, I may as well record it because I'm a YouTuber now and we do those things. So yeah, this is an apartment for us today. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the family just to kind of give you guys some context, and then I'll try to kind of transition into talking about the build itself, so that there's some context for what's going on and why I'm decorating the way I am, things like that. So this is for, like I said, the family I've been playing in my spare time, which is a family for the Lyric Legacy Challenge. Now here recently I was asking in Emmy Sims Discord for some ideas for a family that I could play because I was kind of out of some ideas and I didn't really know what I wanted to do in the game, and I was needing some inspiration. So someone suggested the Lyric Legacy Challenge, which I looked into, and the storyline looks really, really good. And so I was like, hey, why not? I'll just start it up and see how it goes, and yeah. So the way that it works is that I had my founder created. Her name is Clara Song. Get it? Song, lyric. So Clara Song, and her personality is that she's just glad to be free of the reign of her parents, and she kind of wants to do whatever she wants. So she's in the criminal career. She's advanced to the boss branch, if I'm not mistaken. So that's kind of where she's gone with that. She is mischievous, she's really charismatic, so she's actually supposed to master both of those skills over the course of her life, as well as the branch of the criminal career that she chooses. And she's also a serial romantic for her aspiration. So she is, she's a criminal, she's got all this like mojo going with her charisma and her mischief, and she's also a little bit of a charmer in the ways of romance. So she's actually not supposed to have a serious romantic relationship until she's an adult, which she is now, but I haven't yet settled on exactly who she's going to be with. So yeah, that's Clara, my founder, and she's actually had 2 kids sort of by accident. They're twins. And I actually didn't intend to get her pregnant when she got pregnant. I have MC Woohoo in my game, and I have Risky Woohoo set to 5%. So there was a 5% chance that she could get pregnant. And guess what? She got pregnant with twins. So she has 1 boy and 1 girl. The boy's name is Liam, and the girl's name is Aria. And I just really like both those names. So last names, of course, are still Song in their case. I think Aria is going to be my next heir. She kind of fits the personality. She's supposed to be kind of a musical or a creative type. I'm not sure yet exactly if she's going to go the painter route or the musician route, because there is a choice for the person playing the game. But I think she kind of fits it better than her brother does. He's a little bit more charismatic like his mom, so I don't know, maybe one of these days we'll put him in like the political branch or something like that. Maybe he'll do the political career at some point because he's charismatic, but I don't think he's got the mischief spark that she does. Anyway, so those are the Sims that I'm creating this apartment for. All really fun to play with so far. I've really been enjoying, creating their stories and living it along with them. I've actually not been playing them that long. I've only been playing them since like the weekend, so it's only been a few days. But like I said, I'm really enjoying their story so far, and I'm really excited to be playing through the legacy. So that's kind of the rundown on the family. Now, this apartment speed build is called Budget Family Apartment, I think, because I'm starting from the ground up with their money. They had about, I want to say it was like 37,000 simoleons when I first started trying to build this apartment. And so I was kind of trying to stay within that budget so that when they moved from their old house to this apartment, I would just be able to do it right away. It'd be seamless. But then I got kind of carried away making the apartment itself. And I think it ended up being just under 50,000. So I mean, technically it's still kind of a family apartment, but it's not as budget as I had originally intended it to be. So there's that. But yeah, I mean, for as many Sims as it fits, it's a 3-bedroom home. You could fit at least 4 Sims in it. I mean, and more if you would add more beds to the other bedrooms. And there are also 3 bathrooms, a shared one for the kids' rooms, an ensuite to the master, and then a general one out in the living area. I mean, it's a pretty decent sized apartment. So for 50,000, you know, trying to make this look like Sims actually live here, I think that was okay. I mean, it's not my best budget sticking to itness, but you know, it's okay. So right now we're working on Liam's room, and I hadn't ever used that bed from kids' room stuff before, and so I really wanted to kind of play with the orange swatch of that and kind of see where it took me in the build. I definitely don't pretend to be the best of builders or decorators. I just kind of do my own thing and hope that it works. I take a lot of inspiration from the other people that I watch on YouTube doing builds and things like that. So I really don't pretend to be good at this. It's just my style, and it normally works for my Sims, so you know, it is what it is. But yeah, so his room ends up being this kind of nice pops of orange and green and a little bit of blue, which I really ended up liking at the end. It's kind of a hot mess right now, but I think we get there in the end. So one thing that it's probably good for you to know about my building and creating style is that I tend to put the furniture in a room first and then paint the walls, because I feel like the swatches that we have on some items are limited enough that I really can't choose the wall color first and then try to fit furniture in with that wall color. So that's kind of that's what I tend to do as far as building goes. So that's the order of things I do it in. I hope that doesn't mess with you guys too much. I mean, some of you probably do the same thing, possibly. But so yeah, that's why all the walls right now are just this blank white. But eventually, after I decorate some of the rooms, we go back and add the colors in throughout. But a lot of the walls right now are either that drywall texture or they're just all white, so that I don't have to think about them until the very end. So here we are. I'm trying to match the brick of the outside of this building to the brick. I wanted to carry that over into the inside wall just to add some more texture. I guess you could call that the feature wall of some of these rooms. I mean, here I am trying to sound like I know what I'm talking about. I don't. But yeah, that's the feature wall. Let's go with that. So yeah, didn't think that a rug looked really good there, so we just kind of moved on past that. Now, this wall ended up being kind of interesting. So I looked at it for a while, and I was like, we've got to do something more than just put that little void critter thing on there. You know, I was like, we got to do something with it. It's looking a little bare. So eventually, I kind of skipped through a lot of it because it took me ages, but I put up this nice little, like these little flag banner things and a shelving unit that I filled with a couple of little clutter items. And I thought that ended up looking really, really nice. So here in a second, I'm just gonna cut, yeah, there we go. And all of a sudden, magically, there are things on the shelf, and that's kind of exciting. So for some reason, yeah, my clip was frozen there for a second. I hope that's not actually that way in the video, but we'll see. Again, new at all this video editing stuff. I just figured out how to do transitions in videos like today. So you'll probably see at least a few of those. If you get sick of them, let me know, and I'll try to not be so obsessive with them next time. But now we're on to Aria's room, and hers is really nice. I like the combination of this teal color that you can already see coming through and the purple that we end up throwing in there more later. It's in the curtain right now, but then we end up putting a little bit of it on the walls, and it looks really nice. Like, teal is one of my favorite colors. It's in a lot of my channel art for a reason. It's just a gorgeous color, and so I wanted to throw it in her room a little bit rather than just going for the standard like pink room for a girl, which I'm guilty of doing, you know, just like everyone is. So it's happened before, but I wanted to be a little bit more original with this one. So again, walls are all white, just kind of starting with a blank slate there, and I originally started decorating based on the bed. This little corner here was cute. I just raised up those mirrors from movie Hangout and put a little shelf underneath it just to kind of add the idea that there was a little bit more in the way of surfaces to throw some clutter on. Honestly, you know, I acted earlier in the video like it was such a surprise that I ended up spending like 50,000 simoleons on this apartment that I had originally meant for like 37,000. But I put so much clutter on like these random shelves all throughout these rooms that there's no wonder that it ended up being 50,000 simoleons. I mean, really. anyways. So yeah, here we are trying to put on the wall colors. Got that nice pop of teal. So I guess technically we've got two accent walls with the brick and the teal in this room. And then this really pretty kind of pastel purplish pink color as well. Just throwing some posters up on the wall for her. Her little art desk there is, again, kind of the inspiration for her character. She's supposed to be artistic in some way, shape, or form. I also put a little violin over there in the corner, and so I don't know yet which she's going to stick to the most, but I guess we'll figure it out as we go. Yeah, let's raise that little teddy bear up and, you know, stuck it on the shelf. I think that's really cute. Again, more shelves with clutter. And that's my simoleons going right out the window right there. Oh, goodness. It was really interesting for me to record this build and then especially to speed it up because one, I really hope it's not as laggy when it goes up as it is occasionally with me looking at it right now. I only sped it up about 4.5 times because anything more than that, and I thought it was lagging a little too much. I might have my settings on OBS turned up a little too high for what my computer can handle. I might have to do some adjustments in there later. But you guys let me know, what do you think of the speed, and does it make you nauseous to look at it? Is it too slow for a speed build? You know, just kind of let me know, because again, I'm doing this like a complete newbie. So if you have any ideas as to how I can improve the content, please let me know, because I am open to that for sure. But what I was saying is that I learned some stuff about myself as a builder doing this speed build and, you know, recording the footage and speeding it up because first of all, I learned that I turn the camera so much. Like, it's ridiculous. I just bounce around all over the place, and I just kind of need to chill out as far as that goes because it's a little bit too much. Anyways, so this outside, this is the main bathroom for the whole apartment. I decided that they didn't need another shower in there because they have one in each of the other bathrooms, and that this is where the laundry space could go. So that's what we're doing here in this little corner. So it's kind of a nice little entryway. So you walk in the front door of the apartment, to the right is the main bathroom, and then you walk through an archway into the rest of the apartment, which I thought was kind of neat. I've actually never built in this apartment before. This is 20 Culpeper House in the Spice District, and it's where Raj and his mom, I think her name is Geeta. Yeah, it's where they live normally, and because they come occupying this lot in the game already, I never remove my Sims in here. So I just was like, hey, you know what? I need a big apartment, but I need it to be cheap. So I'm just gonna kick them out and mess with this apartment and see what happens. So that's what happened. And I really like the way it turned out. So just working on the entryway here. I forget what oh yeah, I put up that little parenthood chalkboard thingamajigger because it's cute. I really like it. I like how the Sims interact with each other on it. I like how you can like set curfew and things like that. I'm pretty big on like family gameplay typically in my game, so any aspect like what Parenthood brought was that was really cool. I like a lot of the stuff that it came with. So using that, obviously, oh my gosh guys, I forgot to tell you. So like I said, made this apartment for 3 Sims, my founder of the legacy and her 2 twins, right? So she got pregnant again while I was playing yesterday. Again, completely by chance. Risky Woohoo's on 5%. I'm gonna have to turn that stinking thing off because she got pregnant again. I have not tried for a baby in any of her interactions. And she's supposed to be this serial romantic, so there's woohooing going on all over the place. But I still, Risky Woohoo on 5%, and she got pregnant again. And guess what? She had another set of twins. Another boy and another girl. Now I forget their names because they were just born like yesterday in my game. But I am somehow going to have to finagle this apartment to accommodate 2 more Sims, and I don't exactly know how I'm going to do that. I'm thinking that I'm going to put another bed in Aria's room and another bed in Liam's room, and then let there be 2 boys in the boy room and 2 girls in the girl room, so to speak. I think that's going to be the way I do it, but oh my gosh, I haven't opened that game save since then, because when she had the second set of twins, I was so overwhelmed. I was like, you know what? No, let's not do this. Let's just take a break and go from there. So I will open the game save again, but when I'm just slightly less overwhelmed at the amount of Sims I suddenly have to take care of, because she has had 2 sets of twins completely by accident. Anyways, just setting up a little entry table here. I like entry tables because it's like gives you the illusion of that's like where the Sims would throw their stuff, like their clutter or their keys or, you know, whatever when they're first coming in the house. And so that's kind of nice there. Now working on the master, which for some reason I left until like nearly the very end. I have literally furnished every other room up until this point, and yet the master has gone untouched. So again, the layout of this apartment and the budget, quote-unquote budget that I was working with kind of demanded that a lot of the space be semi-clutter free. So typically if I'm not working with a budget restriction, I like to you know, throw a lot of random clutter, like even more than you can see here. You know, I like to throw a lot of stuff in my Sims rooms to make them pretty personal to their actual personalities, but I really couldn't do that as much this time. So some of the rooms might seem a bit simple, but again, that's what happens when you're working with a little bit of a budget restriction. Some of it looks a little plainer than I would normally like, but you know, then again, I also threw clutter on random shelves all throughout the house, so you know, it is what it is. So yeah, guys, we're like 15 minutes into this voiceover, and I feel like I'm doing decent on my very first ever build voiceover. I really hope that, again, this all renders properly and that I don't have to record this more than once, because I don't know, I was kind of thinking, you know, for my first build voiceover, I didn't really want it to be a ridiculously long one, understandably so probably, but this video, like footage and all, when I first put it into my my editing software, was gonna be like closer to 30 minutes long, and I was like, no, that's not gonna work. We're gonna have to cut it somewhere. So I worked on like how fast I was gonna speed it up and how much I was going to cut it and things like that. And so as you can see all throughout, with me playing with all these video transitions, there is a decent bit of cutting. Like when I'm stuck on a certain area, I think I cut out decorating all of the bathrooms because bathrooms are boring. If you like bathrooms, please let me know. I'll consider putting them in the future, but they all look pretty much the same, and at least one of them, or maybe two, made it into the screenshots later on. So, you know, if you're really jonesing for a bathroom shot, it'll be there, but you didn't have to watch me build it and, you know, repetitively put the same stuff in each of the ones. So, another thing I like to do with building is to add the lighting in at the very end. So I'll throw those big saucer lights everywhere at the very start so that I can see what I'm doing. But then later, if I think of it, I'll just turn off the game lights and then go through and add a little bit more unique lighting, like those little like mason jar things that I'm putting in right now, and like, yeah, like standing lamps and things like what I'm putting in right now as well. I just think that makes it look a little bit more home-like. Because like my home, I'm not sure about yours, but my home is filled with like table lamps and standing lamps, and I rarely ever have the overhead lights on when I'm just kind of bebopping around my house. So I've kind of been doing that recently, and I like what it adds to my gameplay. I mean, it's not the greatest lighting all the time for screenshots and such, because I know you need really bright lighting for those to look good. But I think it works when you're just playing in the game, because again, it makes it feel a little bit more realistic. So that's what we're doing now, just throwing in some lighting and all that good stuff. There's another set of shelving right above the master bed there, full of lovely clutter, lovely expensive clutter. For some reason, I took forever deciding what lamp I wanted to put here next to the master bed, but we get there eventually. So put in another standing lamp there next to the dresser, and a duplicate lamp there on that table. But yeah, again, if you guys have any suggestions as to, so I'm a very feedback-oriented person. I know that I'm not the best at this, especially starting off, and so if you have recommendations for what you like to see, or things I could do to improve, or ideas for future content, please let me know. Because like I said in my last video, I have a lot of ideas of what I would like to do, but you know, it's all open from here. I want to put in what you guys want to see. Oh, we're on to the screenshots, guys. I made it. Okay, so this is the main living area here, as you can see. I really like that little built-in table with the dining table there. It's really cute. Moving through the kitchen, which is very uncluttered, unlike what I normally like to do, but you know, gotta save the money somewhere. Here's the little laundry room area, which is in the main bathroom, as you can see. And some more shots of the living room. We'll get to the bedrooms here in a second, but I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you, if you made it all the way here, I really appreciate you listening to my first full voiceover. Yeah, let me know down below what you think, and what I could put out next that you think you'd like to see. In the meantime, I hope you're having the best of days, and I really cannot wait to see you guys next time. Bye.